Mm. Welcome to the Tao of Women. Welcome back. Let's prepare ourselves to receive the 57th passage of the Tao of Women. This passage really speaks to the that place within us that everything we do matters, and that we are here to remember that we matter. What we say, what we do, who we are, it all matters. So let's just take a nice deep breath and prepare ourselves for the passage and let this wisdom seep in to all the places within our being. Passage 57, the ordinary to heroic. If you care about men and women, become aware of the Tao. When you stop trying and loosen your grip on others, life takes care of itself. The more rules you make, the less people will follow them. The more objects you have, the less safe you will feel. The more you take care of others, the less people will take care of themselves. The wise woman says, I forget the rules, and people follow their own. I do not control the purse strings, and people make their own money. I do not preach religion, and people become more spiritual. I forget about making everybody good, and people become good on their own. The heroic woman, conducting her life in an ordinary fashion, achieves the extraordinary. Generations of women teaching children, growing food, making clothes, creating homes. What could be more heroic? So beautiful, especially when we're on the uh, end of the International Women's Day weekend. How beautiful. Let's go ahead and just start the practice. And so I invite you to come into your practice space and find your place and bring your hands and feet together as we do. As you stand for just a moment, simply allow yourself to give a humble bow, as if you are just letting go, like the passage said. Don't hold too tightly. And so just what can you let go of right here, right now, so this practice can unfold on its own? And as you humbly bow forward and release and let go, letting go of all these, I find myself peeling off my glasses, peeling off my watch, peeling off my hurriedness. And in so doing, now there's a natural lightness and an uprising energy that rises up through my feet, up through my legs, up through my spine, up through my torso, up through my shoulders, and up through the top of my head. And from here, we're going to step across the threshold into our practice. And this, we're shifting from the ordinary into the extraordinary. And we'll bring our hands in front of our dantians, in front of our wombs. And this passage, I only read it one time because it's a longer passage. That passage really speaks to the dragon energy, the energy of a dragon, of a mythical dragon, an archetypal dragon. The Chinese dragon is one that is simultaneously incredibly mundane and in the ordinary world just does the right things, brings a sense of liberation and freedom and prosperity with a sense of awe and wonder and a sense of groundedness into the ordinary world. And so as we're standing here with our hands in front of our dantian, with our feet on the earth, with our breath into our bellies, we stand as wise women. We stand as the heroic woman, not here to save the day, but to be rooted, to be centered, to be a pillar of compassion and wisdom in our homes, in our community, and knowing that everything we do ripples out into the world. So as we stand here in stillness for a few moments, we're collecting and gathering our energy at our center. When we open the palms of our hands and have them facing toward each other, we are consolidating this vital life force energy into our dantian so it becomes more substantial. So take a moment and just simply breathe here and allow this energy to consolidate and become more substantial. This energy becomes the pebble in the pond. We've done this practice before. We are standing here as heroic women, living our ordinary lives, making extraordinary ripples out into the world. So with that, what we're going to do is we're going to inhale. And when your breath naturally exhales, let your hands float out as if they're floating on the surface of water as you are sitting back and down like you're sitting on a tall stool. And just go out until you feel comfortable. Now turn your hands back and making this circle as your hands come back, you are gathering and directing this energy back to your center. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, your hands ripple out like rings in the pond when you toss the pebble into the pond. And then the reverberation, the result starts to echo back, magnetize back. Pebble in the pond. You are the pebble. Your centeredness, your groundedness, your level of coherence all determines the frequency and the vibration and the ripples that you're sending out into the world. So as you inhale, this energy comes back. You stay centered. And as you let your hands float out, even though your body is sinking up and down, you still stay centered. As you do your normal, ordinary things, as you cook your dinner, tend to your children, pick up your paintbrush, write your book, practice Qigong. Each one of those actions, there is a trust, a letting go of trying to control what you cannot control, realizing that too much rigid rules put upon yourself interferes with your cultivation. Too many rules put upon us by our governments and policymakers turn us into less healthy, less harmonious people. So trusting the process, letting go, living your life centered, you are creating a field, a frequency that allows other people to do the same because you are showing them through your leadership what it means to be rooted and centered and to be a steward of your energy. And you can then influence and support other people without actively meddling, trying to fix and solve and overly care for other people, hence interfering with their Tao and stealing their power. And so as your hands are floating forward, you can feel as if this ripple of energy is circling out around you 360 degrees, as if you are in the center of the ripple. And all around you, from the past to the future to the present moment, you are sending out ripples, showing, modeling grounded leadership from the wise woman tradition. You're not trying to make anybody think, feel, believe, or do it your way, but you are being and doing your expression and following your Tao. And that inspires, influences, and encourages others to find their center. So as you are in the practice, I'm going to be silent for a few moments so we can let the form teach us what it feels like to move from our center and send our frequency out into the world. Moving from your center, from your dantian, and also moving from your womb is what you're modeling, is a path of creation and love and self-expression that allows for the fullness of life to unfold, knowing that what unfolds is Tao. While you're in the practice, I'm going to read the passage to you one more time. So stay in the practice while I read this to you so you can embody the wisdom into your dantian, into your center. Ordinary to heroic. If you care about men and women, become aware of the Tao. When you stop trying and loosen your grip on others, life takes care of itself. The more rules you make, and the less people will follow them. The more objects you have, the less safe you will feel. The more you take care of others, the less people will take care of themselves. The wise woman says, I forget the rules, and people follow their own. I do not control the purse strings, and people make their own money. I do not preach religion, and people become more spiritual. I forget about making everyone good, and people become good on their own. The heroic woman, conducting her life in ordinary fashion, achieves the extraordinary. Generations of women teaching children, growing food, making clothes, creating homes. What could be more heroic? So beautiful. I feel like I want to show you the image. So this is the Chinese character, and that really is what made me think of Pebble in the Pond. And then here are the Nushu characters. Let's come back into the practice together. One thing that stands out about that passage is when you stop trying to take care of everybody, they can take care of themselves. Yes. And also, our last session, we talked about what are we doing as wise women? We're creating a circle of care. We're creating a circle of care that we care for ourselves, we care for others, we care for the elders, we care for the children, we care for the new mothers, we care for the sick, we care for the earth, we care. And there is a difference between caring for, stewarding, loving, and tending to, and over taking care of. So I just want to bring that into the weaving of the overall teachings of the Tao of Women. There is nuance in each of these passages. So now, as we start to come to completion, let your movements be even slower as your hands float out, and even softer, and feel yourself drawing yourself back to your center. And feel your dantian, feel your center become more substantial, filled with life force, settling into this space, letting now your body receive the results of the practice. A very simple practice today. And now we'll close, we'll reach up and let our hands float down. As our hands are floating down this first few passages, we're smoothing out our energy field, our mind, our emotions, and our body, bringing a sense of unity and integration and wholeness between the physical body, the emotional body, and our consciousness as we embody the Tao, as we become everyday heroes excavating the treasures within. And those treasures are the treasures of knowing yourself, of being rooted and having skills to return to your center as you craft your home and your family, knowing that everything you do matters. You, when you practice Qigong, you are stepping into a path of the everyday hero. So this next one, we're going to shift our weight. Our hands are going to come up. Our feet are going to come together, and let your hands turn down and just let the energy do all the work. Let gravity, let your hands float down as we're completing. Your Shen is up, your mind is bright, your heart is open, and yet you're relaxed. Your body is relaxed and energized. Bring your hand one over the other, over your belly, settling this into your dantian, into that pebble, into that stone, stirring it up, saving it, letting it become a battery for you, both directions, letting your hands go to the side and then down to the earth. As we bow out, right hand makes a fist. Rise every day. You are brilliant like the sun. Never forget to shine bright, no matter who you're with. Left hand covers it, just like the moon. You are whole and complete, even in your darkest hour. And together we bow. We bow to everybody here in this circle that is live and everybody here on the replay. Thank each and every one of you for being here. Your presence matters. And as we bow to our teachers, to the everyday heroes, to our teachers' teachers, and the teacher within. And as we draw this back to ourselves, we do not keep it in our heart. We infuse it with this great love and let it come down into our dantian as we step back across the threshold. And we rub it in and we shake it off. And I would really love to hear from you what you received from this practice, how you walk the path of the Tao, how you are an everyday hero, and what you're aware of when you know that everything you do matters and you are becoming ordinary and at the same time extraordinary. Okay, love, let me know in the comments. Push, like, and subscribe, all the things to help this go out into the world in a way that's meaningful and supportive. Okay,